Happy Sunday, everyone. I'm Rachel, and I am here at the UFDC Museum with Lisa Shockley. She is the curator of the UFDC Doll and Toy Museum.
Doll Museum.
Doll Museum. And Barbie's best friend, Bradley Justice, who just gave a wonderful presentation on Barbie. So, Lisa, can you tell us a little bit about your museum, the mission, and where we are and what's going on here? Yeah.
Well, our museum is located in the UFDC headquarters, which is in Kansas City, Missouri, up on the northern part of Kansas City. We have approximately 8,000 to 10,000 dolls, and it ranges from the entire history of dolls is what we're interested in, not just one period of doll, but our mission is to promote and preserve and to help people learn more and study of dolls.
Which is very, very important to Ruby Lane. Ruby Lane helps sponsor the UFDC convention every year, which is always so much fun. But what a thrill to be here live at the mothership. And we are going to learn something very important today. We just celebrated Barbie's birthday on March 9th. I'm sorry, right?
March 9th.
March 9th. And that was a very fun and popular post. This one is going to be amazing because come on in, get a little bit closer here. We're going to show you what we're going to do. Bradley is going to, with real examples, tell you, the viewer, how to tell a #1 Barbie.
Well, this is a #1 Barbie from 1959. And a lot of people think if they have the doll in the black and white swimsuit or a ponytail doll that it's the #1, but I'm going to show you a few details that are going to indicate what you have here. If you look at her face, you'll see that she has these very arched eyebrows, and her irises are just black and white. There's no color.
So that's very important that the irises are black and white.
Right. We're going to just, for comparison, hold this doll up so you see how pale she is. And if you look at this later ponytail, you see that she has blue eyes.
And this is a #2?
No, this is actually like a #6.
Okay.
And a lot of these dolls happened over the course of just a couple of years. So there was an evolution that was happening that there's like not one year after another that it evolved. But they just made changes in manufacturing and that sort of thing. The one thing that's kind of iconic and the quintessential detail that you want to look for with the #1 is this detail. It's the holes in the bottom of the feet that we always hear talking about. And they were designed for this, which was this Barbie posing stand that has these sort of like crazy prongs that she stands on. And it has the Barbie logo on it, but it just fits down
right down there. And now, is that an original stand?
This is an original stand that's part of our collection. And
it's in incredible condition.
It's amazing.
I know stands like that are worth hundreds of dollars.
Sometimes thousands
or even thousands
of dollars. So
if you guys are tuning in, we are here live at the UFDC Museum in Kansas City with Barbie expert and Barbie's best friend, Bradley Justice. And he is giving us a wonderful lesson on how to tell a #1 Barbie. We have lots of people tuning in, so you can ask your questions live.
The other thing that we talk about with the earliest dolls, the #1 through the #4, is they're what we call solid torso, which the original dolls are made from rotational cast vinyl. So I'm actually going to take my glove off to show this little trick. So the earliest dolls are what we call solid torso, and if you tap your fingernail on the back, it kind of gives like a thud.
Okay, let's go. Yeah, we can hear that. Okay.
And then the later dolls, we're going to use this beautiful Swirled Ponytail for an example.
Big difference.
It makes like a clicky sound, and it's hollow. This is like a blown molded body, so it's not solid. So it's not that she's any less lovely, but
right.
She's a little hollow on the inside.
Our friend just said she is so beautiful, the Holy Grail. Is this the Holy Grail for Barbie collectors?
Yes, everybody wants the first. It's the original, it's the zenith.
We have a Barbie collector right over here that's watching. And do you have any #1 Barbies or several?
I do not have a #1 Barbie.
But you can attest that it is one of the Holy Grail.
You're still looking.
Oh, yeah.
We're still looking.
So we're very proud of this doll. She was given by a wonderful donor who has supported our Barbie collection. She was a former designer for Barbie, Carol Spencer, and she contributed this doll to our collection because she felt that we really needed to have a #1. So she's a treasure, and not only a treasure because of what she is, but by who gave her. So we're very fortunate to have this. Carol worked for Mattel for 35 years, and this is one of Carol's designs. It's called Knit Hit from 1965.
Look at that.
And it's, just a beautiful outfit, and this is another one of her designs that she contributed. That was one of the Sew Free fashions. That was the first time that you kind of put fashion into the hands of the children. They could cut this out, and it actually had these glue strips that put it together, and then they could decorate it with these little gold stickers. So that was 1965, a great year for Barbie.
Does Barbie have a best year?
That could be argued. A lot
Yes.
of people say I personally like the year 1966 because that's when all the original characters, Barbie, Francie, Skipper, you know, all the whole gang was there, the original incarnations of them. So I kind of am fond of that year.
Do we agree? We
I agree.
so-
I would've
yes.
said exactly the same thing.
I love it.
So it's a great year for Barbie.
I love it.
So.
So if you guys are just tuning in and you can ask questions, please share the video. We are here live at the UFDC Museum in front of a real #1 Barbie. So we're giving you guys a really good look at her so you can get up close and personal to see what a #1 looks like. There are a lot of, I don't want to say a lot, but are there some reproductions, fakes, frauds of the #1 Barbie?
Barbie, I mean, this is such an iconic doll. They've reproduced her a couple of times, even with the holes in the feet. But they do a good job of marking them. The original dolls are only marked on their butt. They're not marked on the back of their head or on their back. And that's usually where the reproductions are marked. Now, there are some unscrupulous people who have drilled holes in dolls and repainted them. So I would say if you're going to buy a doll and you're spending a lot of money, take a friend with you or an expert, or you know, just get a second opinion before you commit. Make sure you're getting what you're paying for.
Yeah, that's very important. Now, the later dolls, does the Barbie smell like crayons?
She does. That's one of the other tests that I forgot to tell you. If you take a little smell, it smells like crayon.
She does.
And she never loses that smell.
No,
so it
she
must be
doesn't.
something that's actually in
It's something
what
that's
she's made
in
out
the,
of.
in the material itself, the plasticizer, as it's off-gassing and mildly deteriorating over time. That's what you're smelling.
When did they stop smelling like crayons?
After the first three.
Okay.
#1, #2, and #3. And #1 and #2 are essentially the same doll. The 2 does not have the holes in the feet, and they pretty much kind of go at the same value. But, you know, just make sure, once
Right.
again, you know what you're looking at. So the 3 has a slightly softer look in the face, less harsh eyebrow makeup, and her eyes are blue.
We have hundreds of people tuning in right now to look at this #1 Barbie right here. This is one of the most beautiful #1s that I have personally ever seen. It looks like her hair is in the original set. And is that the original head? Sorry.
I think the rubber
Rubber
band
band?
has been
Replaced.
The bottom one has been replaced.
Somebody, Books by Rose, just tuned in and said, where is this museum?
We're in Kansas City, Missouri. We're close to the airport. We're not downtown Kansas City. We're at 10900 North Pomona Avenue in Kansas City.
Love it.
So you can fly into the airport and be here in about 10 minutes.
And I'm telling you, this is a museum that you don't just come here if you're in the area. You get on a plane and you come across the country, across the world to come to this museum. Lisa, what are a couple of the ways that somebody could support this museum?
Well, we do actively take donations to our collections, and both in terms of items for the collection, we also do take financial support.
Absolutely.
Obviously, we're a 501c3 nonprofit, so any donations that people make to our organization, they are they can be used to apply to their taxes.
Which is so great.
And we also do have volunteer opportunities occasionally. We do our annual convention every year, which this year is in Orlando, Florida, the first week in August. I don't remember the exact dates. So we do have a number of things. We also have a very good reference library and research archives. So if people want to come here and do research, they can call, they can set up an appointment. We do actually have a lot of people come in to do research with us. So you probably want to call at least 2 weeks, maybe a little bit longer in advance to make sure that we can fit you in that day.
Right. So you need to make an appointment, but you can do that, and it is...
But the museum, we're open 6 days a week, no appointment necessary.
Wow.
We're usually closed on Sundays, but we're open today for
this special
programs.
event.
Yes.
And there are a lot of educational opportunities that are actually available within UFDC.
Yes.
And we
Yes.
spoke about that in some of our recent newsletters. And I know the scholarships it's probably closed now for this year.
It may be. I think you might have until May 1st. I'm not. You
Okay.
will have to consult. But we have scholarships. The Coleman Scholarship for the research and study of antique dolls. There's a scholarship for the Nancy Carlson Scholarship for the study of composition dolls. There's a scholarship for studying clothing and textiles. So we have a lot of scholarships available and just a lot of research opportunities. And if you want to learn about dolls, you don't always have to come to Kansas City. You can visit us at our convention if you're not a member on Public Day, or you can just find your local UFDC doll club, and it's a wealth of information and knowledge.
And you can find information about this on the website?
Yes,
Yes.
UFDC.org.
And we're going to add a Learn More button to this video so everyone can access that, but yes.
I would also like to add, we do have, if someone just wants to send a general email inquiry, ufdcinfo@ufdc.org. And if you have a question about something, if you just send to that general email, and we'll send it off to the correct person here to answer that question.
One of the wonderful things about UFDC is you guys are open to all the possibilities. And there's always new and wonderful things happening, from symposiums to open houses to
Workshops
regionals,
and-
workshops. Yes.
You name it. We're all about
We're
dolls.
all about
we're
it.
all about studying. We're all about learning. It's it's a never-ending process of education about the world of dolls.
One of our most shared videos, most shared everything that we have posted to date on Ruby Lane. I think our #1 video is the first Barbie commercial that we posted during Doll Week.
Yeah.
So, and everyone loves seeing that because Barbie is is part of the fabric of American culture.
She's an icon. She really is.
Yeah, when you think of childhood and growing up, you think of Smuckers, you think of Barbie, you think of, there's about 3 things, right? So
Right.
give us a rundown again, because we have a lot of people now that are just tuning in. Oh, and we just got notification this is our most liked live video ever. So that is
Wow.
exciting and wonderful. So Bradley, can you give our viewers again
Sure.
how to tell a #1 Barbie?
Well, we're going to take a look first at her face, and if you look at these really arched eyebrows, and if you look at her irises, you'll see that she doesn't have any eye color. It's just black and white. Later dolls are going to be have blue eyes. Her complexion is very pale. I'm going to hold up this other doll just so you can get a comparison as far as the coloring. The first 3 dolls fade this way, and it's just a different sort of like plastics that they used. So you get a sort of a comparison here. And then the other thing that's just sort of a the iconic #1 telltale thing for #1 is these holes in the feet that were designed to fit on her original posing stand.
Now I see Japan, and that is so important, you guys, and that is only on a #1, correct?
The first
let's-
10 years of
we'll show
Barbie
the stand.
was manufactured in Japan, and Japan on her foot is pretty important. But there are other dolls that do have Japan there, but it's done in a kind of a unique way.
So if you have a Barbie like this and you have the stand, which I've seen the stand sell for hundreds, if not thousands of dollars for one. This one is actually in impeccable condition. We're going over it on the light and there isn't any scratches on this stand. So what a wonderful example to
And
show.
this is what the back side of it looks like, because there have been some replicas of this. So you see that it's got this sort of look.
And
it's
this is
marked
from
Japan.
1959.
This is 1959.
Barbie made her debut at the World's Fair. Was she debuted any?
The Toy Fair in 1959.
That was her first-
Which was at 205th Avenue. That was her first appearance. She wasn't, really widely accepted. A lot of toy buyers turned up their nose at her. They were more impressed with Mattel's burp gun that year, which was like a machine gun. But once they started advertising her on the Mickey Mouse Club, it was kind of, all bets were off. She was going to be the girl of the year.
And she still is the girl of the year, and she has inspired millions and millions of young boys and girls to realize their dreams and do whatever they want,
Right.
which is why we love her. What is some advice, and one of our viewers wrote in and asked this, what is a piece of advice that Barbie would give somebody that's growing up and maybe 13 or 14 and isn't sure exactly what to do?
My favorite Barbie bit of advice is going to be from the 80s, and you can do anything.
Love it.
You can do anything.
And that was Barbie's motto.
Yeah.
Can you guys give us a little information about what we're seeing behind you, which is
Sure.
so exciting?
Sure. Well, this is a sort of a representation of Barbie through about 55 years, all the way from the earliest fashions and styles, and of course her beau Ken. And it just kind of is essentially a timeline. We have Barbie's first example with bendable legs, talking Barbie.
Is that her hair, or is that a?
It's a swim cap.
It's a swim
It's a
cap.
swim
Yes.
cap.
Now, was that supposed to get wet? I'm guessing not.
Probably not. Not a good idea because she's
I'm sure
actually.
many of them did, and maybe why we don't see very many of them.
And she actually
I've
has
never
eyes
seen
that open
anything
and
like
close.
that.
It was the
Really?
first
Okay, we're
doll
gonna
that
have to
does
get up
that,
close.
so.
I didn't even know they made a Barbie with sleep eyes. There is so much to learn. And is that her original box?
That is her original box.
Wow.
And it's pretty much in impeccable condition. But it was the first Barbie that had bendable legs.
What an absolute treat. Now, do these bendable legs click?
They do. They
Okay.
make us, almost like you're cracking your knuckles.
Yes.
So we have some great things here. This is the talking Barbie and Ken, Barbie's little sister Skipper and her friend Fluff, and then her tiny little sister Tootie.
Lisa, as the curator here, is the Barbie section of your exhibit one of the most popular sections for probably all
Yes,
generations?
It is, especially when we have a lot of visitors. We'll have a lot of grandmothers bring their granddaughters, usually. And this is the first section that everybody goes to that everybody knows what's in the case.
Love it.
From the three-year-old, my 3-year-old granddaughter knows who Barbie is. And so, yeah, it is definitely.
Look at Ken's hair.
Yeah, that's Ken's Now Look Ken from 1975, and he had that long hair that was so popular in that era. And Donnie Marie.
And so are these considered, these are by Mattel, but these are not considered Barbies?
They're friends of Barbie.
Friends of Barbie,
and
okay.
and they were always marketed as she could wear Barbie's clothes or Barbie could wear Marie's clothes.
Oh, I love that.
And then this is Julia from the TV show starring Diane Carroll.
And this is a rare doll. Did they make, was the Julia the first colored ethnic Barbie that was
No,
produced?
actually the first ethnic Barbie that they refer to as Colored Francie was done in 1967, and it was a twist and turn doll. Very rare, and I think it was just their first attempt to try and create an African American doll to kind of fit into the line. It didn't last a long time. I don't know if it just wasn't popular, but then they brought out a friend for Barbie named Christy, and Christy was very successful, and then they brought out Julia. So it was some of the first dolls of color in the line. And then I'll bring you to this doll from 1980, and this is the first Barbie that was called Barbie that was African American, and it was designed by Kitty Black Perkins, who was the first African American designer to work for Mattel, and it's one of my favorite Barbies. She's got
On
this
the
great outfit
It's
and
so
like these
tribal,
dangly earrings.
yet
Just,
glamorous.
oh, it's just so amazing. To me, it's just like Halston. I mean, it
Yes.
like looks so glamorous. So
And her box said that she was dynamite.
yes, I remember
is
that. That's
dynamite.
right.
So if you guys are just tuning in, again, we are here live at the Denver, I'm sorry, not the Denver, the Miniature Museum in
Doll Museum.
the Doll Museum. So I'm so enchanted by the Barbies, I can't even speak right. This is just so exciting. We were at the Doll Museum in Kansas City, Missouri. The United Federation of Doll Clubs heads this museum, and we have just learned so much about Barbie, and they are so gracious to bring us in so we can share so much about the world of dolls today. This video is focused on Barbie, and we are here with Barbie's best friend. Bradley, you won the actual title of Barbie's best friend.
2014, I was Barbie's best friend. Each year, Carol Spencer, who worked for Mattel, gives an award to someone who's made a contribution to the collector world as a whole, and so she selects a person, and I am the 2014 recipient. And I always kind of make the joke that you wear the crown one year, but you're Barbie's best friend forever.
I love it. And you know, in a way, we are all Barbie's best friend because there is always enough room to eat at her table. Look at this.
Yeah, I'll point this doll out. This is the best-selling Barbie doll of all time. It is Totally Hair Barbie. Millions of that doll were made. It is the best-selling Barbie. And it was so popular when she came out in the early 90s that they actually did a reproduction of her this year. So many people are harking back to that era, which really isn't that long ago.
I think a lot of people are going to remember the commercial with this doll. And couldn't you dye her hair and
She
do
came with
different
styling
things?
gel, and she was
Yes.
swingy, crazy. It was the longest hair ever on Barbie at that moment. So
Look
it
at
goes
that.
all the way to her feet.
That is a very interesting piece of information that is the biggest selling Barbie of all time. Are there any others in here that are kind of anomalies or ones that hit the market and just exploded?
Well, I'll kind of point out sort of like the zenith of the collector Barbie world when they started marketing directly to adults and to collectors. And it's pretty much this. This is Benefit Ball Barbie that was designed by Carol Spencer. It's the first Barbie garment that actually carried the designer's name in the label as opposed to saying just Mattel or Barbie. It actually has Carol's name in it. And it was the first time in probably 2 decades that Barbie had rooted eyelashes. She had this gorgeous red hair and this fabulous gown that's sort of like Dallas or Dynasty.
Like a mermaid or something.
Yeah,
it's just fabulous.
So that's kind of like the first introduction into the collector world, and it was so wildly accepted, and it just kind of paved the way for each year they crank out some other fabulous design that we just kind of wait with bated breath for them to premiere. And it's great to kind of build a collection that you don't have to spend, $10,000 to buy
Right.
a vintage doll that you can get.
They're accessible.
They're accessible. You can go out and find them.
We have people tuning in from all over the world. Somebody from the UK just said, I am a vintage Barbie collector. What a dream to see something like this. This truly is a dream. And again, tell us where you are and where you're located, because I know a lot of people are just now tuning in.
Well, we're located in Kansas City, Missouri, 10900 North Pomona Avenue. We are about 10 minutes from the Kansas City International Airport. So if you're visiting from out of town, fly into the airport, get a car, you can be here in 10 minutes.
Absolutely love it. One thing that we're very excited about that Loretta was talking about is the UFDC University.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's a whole new way of doing it. Education. We're going to plan to do small seminars here. We're going to broadcast some seminars, and it'll be that you can sit down at your computer and watch a tutorial and print yourself out a diploma for learning something about dolls. It's going to be a great opportunity. Hopefully each week to learn something new about dolls and antique dolls, modern dolls, artist dolls, Barbie. We're planning a lot of education with that, so it's going to be a great opportunity. So it's going to be available to our members. So if you're not a UFDC member, you can go to ufdc.org and click on the join button, and we'd love to have you join us and learn more about whatever it is you like to collect.
And that's the wonderful thing. There is something here for everyone, and there is a wonderful example and multitude of examples of everything. Right now we are in front of Barbie because Barbie is our most widely shared video posts that we've done on our page. So we are just thrilled to be bringing this to you. We have Talking Barbie and PJ.
PJ's Barbie's friend.
PJ is Barbie's friend.
From 1970.
That is the very first Barbie that I was ever given.
The PJ?
I was 5 years old and I got Talking PJ for Christmas.
How many friends does Barbie have?
Lots.
Okay.
Yes,
Lots.
everybody's Barbie's friend.
Well, of course. She has millions. Millions and millions. And Barbie actually even ran for president. I think I saw.
She did.
Oh,
Right there.
She kind of runs for
one of my
president
favorites.
every few years.
And someday we'll
I love it.
do it.
Barbie has done so much for special causes. I see this UNICEF right here,
Yes.
special edition. She just gets in there and figures it out and gets it done, which is what we
Absolutely.
love about her.
Yeah.
What are we looking at right here? This wonderful award.
Well, the first designer for Mattel for the Barbie doll was Charlotte Johnson, and she made such a contribution to Mattel that they presented her with this award about 1978, and it is a gilded gold Barbie doll, and it's the growing pretty hair Barbie that was literally gilded. She's wearing the living Barbie swimsuit, and it was presented to her, and I think she was very deserving.
And what a wonderful thing that you guys now have a home for it here at the museum. So if you would like to support this museum, donate, send some money. It costs a lot of money to do this on a daily basis and make this wonderful information and body of work accessible to the world, which is what they're doing. There isn't a more important mission that you can do within the educational field of dolls and the art of doll collecting. So Bradley and Lisa, thank you so much
you.
for
It's
having
been
us
our
here
pleasure.
today and teaching us and sharing all of this wonderful Barbie love and doll love with the entire world. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.